Good morning. Well, maybe my voice will warm up a little bit. My throat's really raw. I don't have a fever or anything. It's just a little bit of a cold. I wash my hands all the time. I'm trying really hard not to get anybody else sick. The irony is that I talk all day long. So I don't really ever have time to rest my voice. And I'm a klutz this morning. Okay, so the theme is the blessings of age. And I write my themes down a month, 2 months in advance. So I just go with it each day. It gives me time to do other things. So I take time and I write the themes down, and then we just go with them. Well, there's a couple things that go with this blessing and this devotional thought that I'd like you to think about. The blessings of age. Each day and each year that you live gives you experience and gives you insight to something new, because every experience teaches you something. So the fundamental blessing of age and that side effect is that you are wiser. In theory, you're wiser than you were last year. Maybe you become more humble. Some people become more jaded. Some people become bitter. Other people become more thankful and more insightful. Each person has their own journey. I cannot determine what that journey looks like for each person. But there is a blessing in getting older. You learn. Some people don't get older. They die. There's health issues, war, famine, depression, suicide, illness, car accidents, accidents of any kind. Some people don't get older. And those of us that are left here from those that have passed on have lessons that we learn from their death. Some people die for a purpose. Some people die just because it's their time. There's so many layers in life and in the transformation of death that I can't even, it's a big topic. It's a huge topic. I could talk for hours on that. But the transformation that we go through as we age, as we grow, we just get deeper. We just get more and more enriched and fulfilled in our life if we learn our lessons. If we are not learning our lessons and we're blocking and we are denying growth, your life might not be as rich. It doesn't mean it's not fulfilling. It just means it might not be as rich as its potential could be. So, one of the blessings that come from age, one of the beautiful blessings, is seeing people grow and people become aware and waking up to their environment. Some people go through their entire teenage years completely asleep, completely oblivious. And others are more awake. I find joy in the seasons as I age more. I've always loved the seasons, but I really love them now because they move so fast. Busy with work and plans, business, work, school, all these things. Your kids, the busyness of life steals some of the pleasure of living it sometimes. And the older I get, the more and more I treasure the seasons themselves and the quiet time that I take from the day, and I hoard like a treasure. Alone time, time with the cats, time finding my peace by myself. These are all things that I treasure. I treasure the time that I have with Vilef. I treasure the time we have with the kids because it's fleeting and time doesn't stop. So it's important to treasure the things that age and experience bring you to a place where you know that treasuring those things are important. Are you coming up here? Phelan can't decide what she's doing. You know, there's a person that I follow in another live video feed, and yesterday she was talking about teenage suicide, and it's on the rise, and people are scratching their heads and baffled as to why 9 and 10-year-olds are killing themselves, why 14-year-olds are killing themselves. And the reality is that people have been committing suicide for a long time. But there is something, I think, to her point that I have always stuck to. When my kids were little, we didn't have cable. And it wasn't because I couldn't have cable. It was because I didn't want cable. I didn't want my kids watching TV coming home from school. I didn't want my kids on gaming devices all of the time. And Luke and I, with his kids, we done very similar. There's no cable in our house. We have a huge TV. We have a huge flat screen. We watch together as a family maybe a movie a month. We have a gaming system, but the kids aren't allowed more than an hour at a time, and they don't play it every day. They've got school, they've got other things to do. Now, when they got old enough to get a job, if they wanted a phone, they could get one, but they had to pay for it themselves. It wasn't put on our plan. We don't pay for it. It's something that they have to work for and they have to earn. I had to earn my first cell phone. I had to work. And those are things that we believed in, not only ethically and morally for self-development and responsibility and money management, but we really believe in the less computer screen time while their brains are growing is really important. And I did that when my kids were small. So, and I look at my kids now and they're doing really well for the most part, as far as I can tell. And Luke's kids are doing okay. The oldest one is struggling, but it's not for what we did or didn't do. If you look at how the brain grows and develops, it's important to think about the stimuli you're giving your children. electronics and electronic devices can be amazing tools for teaching and for learning. And as an ex-teacher, I get that. But there's a certain amount of time your children need outside. Jiminy Christmas. I can't stress it enough. Why? We moved into this neighborhood. Luke and I were talking about it. We moved into this neighborhood with two teenager boys. And we thought, oh, there's going to be kids all over the place you can play with. No. You never see children. You never see children on the street anymore. They're not playing outside. They're all inside, stuck on computers and watching TV and playing video games. Where are the children? Where are the children? The children need to be outside. It's good for them. I played outside all of the time. Oh my goodness. If your children are depressed and your children are isolated and your children are not getting the earth and nature in their lives, there's no balance. You gotta find the balance. And I know that there are parents that are very protective and they hover and they're, what if this guy's a pedophilia? What if my child falls down and scrapes his knee? What if my child gets a bacteria? Or what if my child, yes, children fall down, but they get back up and they learn from that. What are you giving your children if you're putting them in a bubble? You're not giving them life. Where's the life? Life. Living it. I got a little bit distracted, but not really, because the blessings of age is a beautiful devotional theme. But the age comes only if they're allowed to live it. You're not enjoying and you're not learning from life if you're not living it. Live your life. Experience things. Don't be in your 80s and regret you didn't do this and didn't do that. Live it. Take a risk and live. I hope you have a beautiful day. And I wish you bright blessings. And again, disconnect from all these electronic things. Take your peace. Go outside. I'm going to finish my tea in quiet and no electronics for the next half hour. You have a beautiful day.